Good afternoon from R.A. Fagnall Hall on the campus of Elmhurst College. Luke Tanaka with you. Glad to have you alongside for this edition of Elmhurst men's basketball on Blue Jay TV. Today, the Blue Jays host the North Park University Vikings. North Park coming in with a record of 3-7, but 2-1 in the CCIW, while the Blue Jays sit atop the conference just 2 games into their conference season, sitting 2-0 in the CCIW and 4-3 overall. Starters being introduced down on the floor below us, as you can tell by the blackout with the spotlights going on. And here are the starters for North Park. Number 0, Toby Marek is a 6-foot sophomore guard from Austin, Texas. Matt Zuba is a 6'6 sophomore forward from Arlington Heights, Illinois. Number 10, Kendrell Morris, a 5'5 freshman guard from Elgin. Number 20, Isaiah Sanders, a 5'11 sophomore guard from Chicago. And number 21, a 6'6 junior forward from Oslo, Norway, Vengard Tongen. And then the starting lineup for the Elmhurst Blue Jays. 4-3, 2-0 in the CCIW. Jake Rohde is a 5'7 sophomore guard from Chicago Heights. Number 4, Nick Perry is a 5'11 sophomore guard from Flossmoor. Derek Dotlich is a 6'3" junior guard from Winnemac, Indiana. Jeremy Ireland, number 30, a 6'7 senior forward from Berwyn. And in the middle, Pavlos Marakis, a 6'7 senior forward and a center, you could call him too, from Athens, Greece. Blue Jays coming in on a 2-game winning streak, while North Park has won 2 of its last 3 games. The 2 wins have come against ranked teams in the CCIW. Number 18 Wheaton, a 68-65 win a couple of weeks ago, but then a rough 24-point loss, on the road at Carthage. And then the Vikings packed it up, went to Naperville, and beat North Central, who is ranked number 20 in the country, by 7, 95-88 last Saturday. So big question for the Vikings is which North Park team is going to show up today? The one that beat Wheaton and North Central, 2 ranked teams, or the one that lost on the road at Carthage by 24? We shall see. As for the Blue Jays, they got a big win up at Carthage, 95-79 last Saturday. One of the few common opponents for these teams so far this year. And then at Milliken, the game before that, the Wednesday before last Saturday, a 74-62 win on the road at Milliken. So this is the CCIW home opener for the Blue Jays, as they hope to continue their perfect record thus far in conference play. North Park will be in the dark uniforms, Elmhurst in the home whites. Ball up, and the tip is won by Pavlos Marakis of the Saints. And the Blue Jays will attack the left basket here in the first half. Jeremy Ireland at the top. Rohde flashes across the baseline. That is Perry. And now here's Rohde. Up to Perry. The ball fake. Out to Rohde on the left wing. Good defense by North Park so far. Looking down low, and it's stolen away. Rohde had his pass picked off. And now here comes Kendrell Morris. 7.2 assists per game, 10.6 points per game for Morris. Dishes near side to Marek. Marek has been one of the keys in the upsets for the North Park Vikings, as Morris stepped on the sideline out of bounds. And Elmhurst will have the basketball, still scoreless here in the first couple of moments of today's game. Rohde brings the ball up. Jake Rohde, 20 points per game. Here's Marakis looking for somebody inside. Ireland trying to get post position, but he's struggling with it right now. Perry dribbles on the right wing, and he carried on his way over there. So 3 turnovers to start today's game. 1 minute in, still have yet to have a shot go up. Key players today for North Park. You got 4 players averaging double figures. A lot of top scorers for this North Park team. All 4 of them start. There's a travel by Tongan. That's one of them. He's at 12.5 points per game. Toby Marek leads the team, 12.7. Matt Zuba, 11.2. And Kendrell Morris, 10.6. As for the Blue Jays, Jake Rohde's been the key cog offensively, 20 points per game. 11.1 for Derek Dotlich and 11.4 for Jeremy Ireland. Go along with that. Maracas down low to Dotlich. Little size advantage for him. Dotlich runs out of room though. Perry to the basket. Fouled. Count it and one. First 2 points of the game, Nick Perry. It's going to be Toby Marks first. Teeing the first foul of today's game. Nick Perry averaging 4.6 points per game, 2.6 assists per contest for Perry. The lefty fires the free throw, it's good. Sophomore guard out of Flossmoor, Hinsdale South High School. In the starting lineup for the Blue Jays today, head coach John Baines in his 6th year with Elmhurst. Firing a three is Zuba from beyond the arc, no good. Jake Rohde tracks down the board. Rohde dribble handoff Perry, now Dotlich. Quickly down low to Ireland, lowers the shoulder and gets it to go. Good ball movement by the Blue Jays, able to find Jeremy Ireland down low. Off a screen, Marek and Zuba trying to move some screen and roll. Instead, Marek denies it. Isaiah Sanders dribbles in. Tough layup, no good. Maracas pulls down the board. He's averaging 5.6 rebounds per game. That one tipped out of bounds. Rohde will spot up for three. Good, Jake Rohde. It's an 8-0 lead for the Blue Jays. 2.5 minutes in, and already we have a full timeout called by North Park. Their first timeout called of the game, and Tom Slider not happy. 2.5 minutes in, already trailing 8-0. Slider in his 7th year with North Park, 65 and 96 overall with the Vikings. But overall in his career, 167 and 180. He's had winning seasons in 3 of his last 4. And some of the players you think of when you think of North Park in the high days, the last 3 or 4 years, think of Juwan Henry, Colin Lake, and Jordan Robinson. Those guys were really dynamic when they played at North Park. But those guys are gone now, and so it's going to be a matter of, names like Toby Marek, Matt Zuba, et cetera, et cetera. And this team is very young. The starting lineup has no seniors. 3 sophomores. Marek, Zuba, and Sanders are all sophomores. Vegard Tongen out of Norway is a junior, and a freshman, Kindrell Morris, out of Larkin High School in Elgin, starting for North Park. So pretty young team, currently 3-7 on the year, and they struggled last year, did the Vikings, trying to turn it around with the inflection of youth. See if that helps. Here is Morris at the top. He dishes far side. That's Marek. Zuba will spot up a 3 near side and hit it. So right out of the timeout, North Park gets its first points of the contest. And Zuba's happy about his shot. Oh, and the lights just got dim. Well, that's not very good. All right, who tripped the cord? There it goes. That was now I've called a lot of games here at Elmhurst, but that has never happened. Not sure entirely what happened there, but we're back underway now. 3 minutes in, Blue Jays up 8-3. Pass down low for Rohde, tipped away by Sanders, and Zuba comes up with it. Marek guarded by Perry. Really good job by Perry using the baseline as another defender. Marek again. Perry, that's a tough assignment, as Marek's been very good as of late. Tongan running out of room there. Morris with, that's Sanders with 10 on the shot clock. Spots up and hits a shot. First 2 points of the game for Isaiah Sanders out of Chicago. Rhodey looking for options. Here's Perry, guarded by the smaller Morris. Good pick and roll dish for Maracas, who lays it up and in. That's a really good pass by Perry there. Able to find Maracas as Zuba went with the ball and left Maracas wide open. It took Maracas a second. There's a turnover. Arid pass. Tongan wasn't expecting it. Went out of bounds. Antonio Gardner, the sophomore guard out of Arlington Heights, checks in for the first time. Perry will bring the ball up the floor. Dotlich down low to Maracas, trying to get some space, puts his head down, shoots, misses, but Rhodey tracks down an offensive board that Sanders couldn't grab with two hands. Dotlich for three, good. Derek Dotlich from downtown, shoots it almost 50% from beyond the arc. Dotlich showing up there, nice work by the senior, maybe the junior I should say. Three-pointer, no good by Gardner. Dotlich with the board. Rhodey trying to run in transition. Gets into the lane. Tries to look for Maracas. Had it deflected back to him. Ireland with a good pump fake. All the way to the basket. Counted and one. Gardner tried to take the charge, and I think he was in the restricted area. And that is a big man in Jeremy Ireland, 6'7", 225, and good for Gardner at 5'9", 177, trying to step in there and take the charge, but that's not a battle he's going to win more often than not. Ireland weighing 50 more pounds and being well taller than him as well. Ireland misses the free throw, but the offensive board is grabbed and then lost by Levon Thomas. And North Park will have the basketball, trailing 15-5 here in the early going. Elmhurst applying a little bit of pressure. Eventually, North Park does get the ball into Mark, and Elmhurst will back off. Dotlich guarding Zuba with a hand in his face. Bang, hits the three. It's the second three of the game for Zuba. Dotlich kicks Ireland baseline, gets to the basket off the glass. Jeremy Ireland has looked good off the screen and roll there. And a couple easy layups for Ireland in the early going. He's got 6 points already. 5 different players have scored for the Blue Jays. Three-pointer, no good, far wing. Rebound brought down by by Rhodey in the game for Elmhurst, Levon Thomas and Ryan Patton, as Rhodey just goes all the way to the basket unimpeded. And North Park, Tom Slider has to call timeout again. Now trailing 19-8, a 30-second timeout. Now 6 minutes in, the Blue Jays up 19-8. And Elmhurst has hit 8 of their 9 shots from the field so far today. Also pulled down 6 rebounds. North Park doesn't have a rebound yet. The only miss that Elmhurst had was an offensive rebound by Rhodey. So North Park has yet to even have a rebound in the score sheet. They do have 2 steals, and Elmhurst has turned the ball over 4 times. But when you don't have a whole lot of rebounds, that means the other team isn't missing. That's not good. And also that means you're not getting anything on the offensive glass. Just one and done on the offensive end. So see if Tom Slider's second charge timeout helps with that. Tongan at the top. Sanders fakes the handoff. Now another three-pointer, far wing. Zuba again, pulled down this time by Levon Thomas on the board. Rhodey dribbling around, finds Ryan Patton. New player in the game is Jay Militello. Ireland fakes, back to Rhodey. Lots of time to shoot for the Blue Jays despite all the action on the offensive end. Thomas looks for Rhodey, pass tipped up by Zuba, and nobody picked it up, so Zuba ended up with it. Sanders kicks Zuba, looking for the handoff to Marek. Instead, far side, that's Tongan, I believe. Now Sanders, pull up Jay, good. Sanders is 2 for 4 here in the early going. Pass up for Thomas. Nice look from Rhodey, but Thomas couldn't finish. Well, that's one that Thomas has got to finish. That was a really good-looking pass. Marek drives all the way to the basket on the other end and scores. So that miss, not only does it lead to 2 points not scored for Elmhurst, but it leads to 2 points in transition for North Park. Militello, right-handed dribble, kick to Ireland, who's open. Wanted the extra pass to Patton, instead dribbled in. Now Patton, kick to Militello. Pump fake, now he'll take the three. No good, Levon Thomas, it will be called for the foul on the rebound going over the back. First team foul on the Blue Jays so far in the contest. Austin Brown checks in and Nick Perry. Morris back in for North Park and Cardell Simmons also on the floor. Simmons, a 5'11" senior guard out of Chicago. Morris, the freshman, drives into the lane amongst the trees, tries to dish to Tongan, who lost the ball out of bounds, but it's off of Ireland. And it'll stay with North Park. Vikings in the darker jerseys today, Blue Jays in the home whites. Now an offensive foul charged to Cardell Simmons, his first. And the third team foul. Jeremy Ireland looking for options off the screen from Brown. Not quite fighting a shot there was Perry. Militello dishes. Ryan Patton wide open for three. Not quite. Rebound pulled down by Kendrell Morris. Now a dish by Simmons goes out of bounds. Looking for Tongan, but I don't know if Tongan was ready for the pass. That's the second time we've seen North Park turn it over because Tongan wasn't ready for it. 7-point lead for the Blue Jays. Under 12 minutes to go here in the opening half. Perry looks for Patton again. They'll spot him up for three. No good this time. Tipped up by Militello, kept alive, and Perry pulls it down. Now Patton again for three. Not this time. And the rebound goes out of bounds. Pavlos Marakis back in. He replaces Ireland. Antonio Gardner checks in for North Park along with Jake Ellis. Pass goes up and it's picked off by Militello. Militello goes to the rack. He misses by a bunch. Brown on the floor trying to grab the rebound. Good hustle by the Blue Jay will cause a jump ball. Possession arrow favors North Park. I think expecting the contact there was Militello and just missed it a little too high off the backboard. Now we have a discussion amongst officials. Bill Nekadis, Andy Bowl, and Andrew Williams are officiating crew today. And not sure entirely what the issue is at this point. Elmhurst won the tip, so North Park would have the possession arrow. Off the jump ball. Seems like we're all good now. Now a long pass for Simmons, and it's connected. Simmons gets blocked by Marakis out of bounds. Colin Bomstead checks in for Ryan Patton. Patton had a couple of good looks from three, but just couldn't quite hit them. Just over 11 minutes to play. Blue Jays lead by 7. Marakis guarding the much smaller Ellis on the perimeter. Morris, now Perry on him. Zuba driving on Brown, and I think Brown had a little arm bar there with the left arm. No shot is the call, and Austin Brown will be charged with his first foul. The 6'5" senior out of Andover, Kansas. Looking for Zuba. Brown against Zuba. Zuba kicks. Simmons. Now a three-pointer for Ellis. No good. Rebound brought down by Perry, who just stays in bounds right in front of the official. Perry looking for options. Picks up the dribble. Maracas fakes the shot. Good look to Austin Brown, who lays it in. Really nice look by Pavlos Maracas here from the top. He knew he had the mismatch down low. Kendrell Morris only listed at 5'5". Austin Brown a foot taller on the roster, 6'5". Made it an easy basket for Brown. Simmons almost lost it. Ellis fakes the three, drives in, fadeaway Jay. Shot was altered by Maracas. Rebound pulled down Militello, almost lost it from behind. Militello, jumper just in front of the free throw line, no good. Swatted around, Militello ends up with it. And now the Blue Jays will calm it down. John Bain says, let's slow down. And so the team slows down, except there's a three, far wing, no good. Rebound, Militello puts it up and in. We got another timeout called by North Park. It's their third timeout of the game. It's a 30-second timeout. There you get 6 here in college, and that's 3 of the 6 timeouts already taken by North Park, and we're just barely over 10 minutes into the game. But it's not a bad time to take the timeout, as Elmhurst right now 23-12 on top, and 5 second chance points. But for the Blue Jays, 16 of their 23 points have come in the paint. They've been able to get those easy baskets. Jeremy Ireland has hit all 3 of his layups. He's 3 for 3. See Militello there with the layup. You also have a couple of three-pointers from Dotlich and Rohde. But really, the Blue Jays, 10 of 19 from the field, 53%. Out rebounding North Park right now, 12-6, and part of it's because North Park's really struggling. And I don't think North Park has an offensive rebound so far in today's game. That'll hurt you on the offensive end if you can't get extra opportunities, while the opponent, Elmhurst, has had many of them. Marek out of bounds, and he'll stay with North Park. Toby Marek's been the key in the 2 upsets over number 18 Wheaton and number 20 North Central. Marek is averaging 28.5 points per game in those 2 games. Here he is, his first shot of the day, gets the friendly roll, or excuse me, that's his second shot of the day, and he gets the friendly roll off the front rim. Dotlich kicks, three-pointer, this time Bomstead, and a North Park player went down. And Maracas is going to be charged with his first foul, the team's 3rd. There you see the shot by Marek, a little friendly roll off the front iron. He is the key to their success in those upsets, at least. Maracas trying for the block, and Marek gets it over the outstretched arm of the tall center from Greece. And the ball stays with the Vikings. North Park with possession, down by 9, and trailed by as much as 11. Morris on the dribble handoff. Marek dribbles left-handed, fires a shot up. Tom Slider wants a foul. I think Marek wouldn't mind a whistle as well. Nothing called, and out of bounds. Rohde back in. He'll replace Bomstead. Elmhurst struggling from beyond the arc so far, but everything they've been shooting inside the arc has been converted pretty much. 10 of 20 from the field and 2 of 8 from downtown. These are 8 of 12, 75% when they shoot anything from 2-point range. Rohde has Ireland open. There he is on the baseline. Jay, no good. Maracas looking for the rebound, and let's see. A couple of players were in the vicinity. Toby Marks charged with his second foul. That's a big second foul for North Park's leading scorer, 12.7 points per game. Also 2.3 assists per game, one of the tops on the team. And remember, he was the one who sparked the 2 upsets in CCIW play earlier this year. So without him on the floor, that could be an issue for the Vikings. We'll get to his efficiency numbers later against North Central. It was very impressive in North Park's win over the Cardinals. Ireland thought about the 3, has some space for it, instead will reset. 10 to shoot for Jake Rohde. Rohde thought about the 3, but he's cut off really nicely by Sanders. Trying to pass down to Ireland, and I think Sanders got a piece of it. Morris to the basket, lays it up, finger roll no good. Ireland pulls down the board. Perry almost carried it. Maracas backs in on Zuba, fadeaway jumper, no. Rebound by Sanders. Pretty good defense there by Zuba down low against Maracas. Morris kicks Simmons, he's open, and he missed it. Dotlich with the long rebound. Not a whole lot of shots going in lately. Rohde stops in the lane, turns up, can't hit. Up and down the floor we go. Simmons, nice dish to Zuba with the easy 2. Really good assist by Simmons as he drove the lane, waited for the defense to collapse, and then, hey, there was Zuba right under the basket for 2. And teams were scoreless for almost 2 minutes before that basket. 7-point game. Offensive foul charged on Nick Perry. Kendrell Morris took the charge. Elmhurst applies a soft press. Morris thought about a deep 3, instead finds Sanders. One dribble inside the 3-point line, and Isaiah Sanders has 6 points. Sanders 3 of 5 from the floor today. Elmhurst trying to snap a 3-minute drought on this possession. Rohde looking for help. There's Ireland trying to find the cutting Rohde. Dribble handoff. Perry for 3. I think it was altered by Morris, if not blocked. Then Maracas with the offensive board and put back. That's been the key for the Blue Jays so far today, those second chance points. How about 7 and 18 points in the paint for the Blue Jays and a 7-point lead for Elmhurst, 25-18. A lot of offensive boards today for Elmhurst thus far. Morris for 3, he hits it. Morris's first points of the day on his second shot. Dotlich is back in. Dotlich, they left Ireland wide open. He pump fakes and then gets cut off by the retreating defense. Nice job by North Park of recovering defensively. Coaches and the fans love it for the North Park side. Rohde, nice crossover dribble to get around a couple defenders, and then he lays it up and in amongst contact. 7 points for Rohde. Team high. For the 5'10 sophomore out of Chicago Heights. He's been with the program for 3 years, but redshirted his freshman year due to an injury. So have him as just a sophomore averaging 20 points per game. Very impressive for the Blue Jays. Sanders again just inside the 3-point line. This time couldn't quite get the friendly roll. Maracas pulls down an easy board. Maracas is left wide open, drives into the lane, lays it up and in. Pavlos Maracas, 6 points. Average is just 3.7 so far this year. He's also got 4 rebounds. Good day so far for the forward out of Athens, Greece. Trying to go on the pick and roll, and Zuba's pass is off the fingertips of Tongan. Thomas checks in, replacing Maracas. A very good half so far. 4:27 left in the half, and an 8-point lead for the Blue Jays. Rhodey looking for options. He's got Ireland, accepts the screen. On the switch, they couldn't find Ireland. Good denial by Sanders. Rhodey, jump stop in the lane, no good. Ireland, tip up, count it, and one. Another offensive board for the Blue Jays leads to 2 more points.
Basket counts. Foul charge to Sanders.
Isaiah Sanders is called for his first foul. The team 5th so far. 10-point lead for Elmhurst. Ireland looking to add. Militello checks back in, replacing Perry. Ireland rises, fires, hits. 9 points for the senior out of Berwyn. A 32-21 advantage. Morris, almost had it picked away by a couple of Blue Jays. 3-pointer, no good. Dotlich does good to keep the board alongside the white jerseys. And Rhodey comes up with it. And Levon Thomas at the top, kicks to Dotlich. Dotlich takes the screen, Simmons fights over it. Now Thomas, jumper from the baseline, no good. Zuba trying the long pass to Simmons, connects, and Simmons with the layup. Really good look by Zuba. I think that's the second time that connection has led to an easy basket for North Park in transition. Zuba to Simmons. Rhodey in the lane, A couple of players hitting the floor hard. It was Zuba against Rhodey, and Zuba is going to be charged with his first foul. It's team 6th, so the Blue Jays getting close to the 1-and-1. Rhodey averaging 20 points per game and 4.3 assists per contest, shooting 50% from the field, 41% from three-point range, and 79% from the free throw line. Really impressive season so far for Jake Rhodey, and not really at all surprising for those familiar with the Elmhurst program. Rhodey has been very good. He also leads the team in steals, by the way, with 14. Ever since he stepped onto the court, he knocks down another free throw, tied with Ireland for the team high with 9 points, re-extending the Blue Jay lead back to 11. It's a game high. Morris spots up for 3, and nobody but Blue Jays down low for the board. Dotlich outlet Militello, runs into Zuba. Dotlich straight on 3, no good. And Sanders had good position for the rebound. Getting out in transition is Morris. His layup no good. Zuba's tip no good. Dotlich back up the other way. Rhodey. Now Thomas. Up to Dotlich. Dotlich, thought about popping the 3 from there. Now Thomas down low against Zuba. Left-handed hook shot, no good. Sanders with the rebound. And then Sanders threw it out of bounds. Not entirely sure what happened there. I was ready to look on the other side, but he just threw it away. Okay, Mark checks back in with his 2 fouls, and Antonio Gardner also in. And then one more. Simon Jacobson is in for North Park. John Baines calling out the play here. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Rhodey kicks. Thomas thought about the 3. Now he'll take it. No good. They left him open. They dared him to shoot it. He did, and he missed. Gardner coming up the floor for North Park. Here is Marek. He's got 4 points today. Marek guarded by Militello. Floater in the lane is good. Nice basket by Marek. Not an easy basket, but he's able to get it to go. Militello fighting through contact, gets to the basket, puts it in. Ball ticked away. I think everybody on the Blue Jays sideline was yelling, "Get on the floor." Dotlich pulls it away. 1 minute to go. Elmhurst looking to extend their 11-point lead. Ball flipped up into the air, saved by Rhodey. Heck of a play. Now Militello for three. Ooh, not quite. Rebound by Mark. Almost picked off by Militello. Down low, and Tongan turns it over again. Been a tough day for the guard Tongan, who will head to the bench, replaced by Zuba. 10 turnovers for North Park here in the first half. Led to 9 Blue Jay points off those turnovers. 8 offensive boards for the Blue Jays. 36-25. The lead for Elmhurst. Could go 2 for 1 here, but it looks like they'll have to take it a little slower. Rhodey almost lost it. Picked it back up. Kicks to Ireland. Open for 3. No good. Levon Thomas couldn't quite get there. Neither could Ireland for the rebound. And now North Park can essentially hold for the last shot. Just a 1.1 difference between game and shot clock. Perry and Maracas back in. Got the starters on the floor for the Blue Jays. And with Militello as well for Dotlich. So Militello, Ireland, Maracas, Rhodey, and Perry. Tom Slider, head coach of North Park, calling out the play. 10 seconds on the shot clock. 1.1 second difference between the game and shot, and it's picked away. Stolen by Militello. Rhodey up to Militello, lays it in as the clock expires, and the Blue Jays with 2 more points to end the half. I believe 38-25 advantage as we head into halftime. Elmhurst on top, sitting at 4-3 and 2-0 in the conference, looking to make it 3-0. One more time, let's take a look. Nice steal. I think Militello poked it away. Rhodey ended up with it, and then Rhodey with the pass up to a streaking Militello, who easily laid it in before the buzzer. So the Blue Jays 38, North Park 25 at halftime. We'll come back with the second half in about 15 minutes on Blue Jay TV.
Education is kind of in my family. My dad's a principal, and so I've seen that lifestyle, and I wanted to further education of students, and I really enjoy kids. And so that being said, I wanted to be a teacher and then coach as well. The elementary education program is very rigorous. You get out in the field, you have field experience starting your sophomore year. So your sophomore through senior year, you're always in the field learning. I think that's just like a huge advantage here at Elmhurst College to have you out in the field early, just because you have such almost like a leg up on everyone else that is going into that major as well, just because you're out there, and it takes 3 or 4 years to realize what the system of a school is. We're in schools all the time as students, but not necessarily as teachers. So it's a different point of view to see the whole school atmosphere. The professors, they're really great. They always email you right back, even in the evenings if you have questions on assignments and papers. The ratio in the class is there's 12 or 13 students per professor in a class period in the elementary education program. And so with that being said, you're not a number, you're a name. And that's something that I really, really like, and it definitely prepares you. They always push you in the classroom. They always push you on the court, off the court. Our coaches push us to do other things besides sports and our major, to get out in the community. And with all that being said, it's kind of a resume builder, and so that's how it pushes us to become more prepared for the real world. Our basketball team actually has weekly meetings in the fall with the Center for Professional Excellence, so they help us build resumes and help us, get our name out to people and businesses for internships and jobs and all that. I know that when the time comes, I feel like I'm going to be prepared just through the education that Elmhurst has provided and the skills that I've learned as well through sports and our studies.
Coming here as a Division III player, you're coming here to get your degree. We have some players that go on to be professional athletes. They've gone overseas, but that's not the norm. Our players are coming, they're finishing their playing careers here. And so whenever they're done, they're being prepared in something else other than just basketball. So for us, that's the student-athlete model. You come in, you're working hard. Our players put in as much time as a Division I player does, but it's because they want to be there. I know that from motivating our players, if they're coming to practice, I know that they're working hard because it's out of them, not just because we've got a dollar sign, they have to do it, this is how they have to stay in school. They don't have to be there. They're there because they're motivated to, they want to be a good team, they want to be a good player, and there's something that's special about that experience to me, coaching that player.
Welcome to the cultural season at Elmhurst College. Elmhurst is a place of values and conviction. We were founded by 19th century reformers who believed in human potential, loved learning, and had standards. More than 140 years later, we still do. We still attract students and teachers who want to think for themselves and act on principles, who challenge and respect one another, who engage, serve, and celebrate our diverse, dynamic, interdependent world. A few years ago, to be clear about things, we wrote down our core values. This year, we asked some of our students what those values mean to them.
Elmhurst College is unique in so many ways.
Here we really do have values, and my professors know the values, and they push me to be those values.
Stewardship and faith and community and service, and it really does bring in kind of a level of just interaction with values that you never got before.
But as you kind of develop yourself over the years, you start to realize these values mean so much more, and you start to uncover the true meaning behind them.
You begin to see equivalencies between your life and the school, and then you discover that you're not just in a place of learning, you're also in a place of growing, you're in a place of maturity and value, exactly that, core values.
Intellectual excellence means allowing our minds to grow in ways that we've never thought they could before. It means exploring those new pathways, seeing how we could do things different. It means stepping outside of our box of what we know and what we're comfortable with and taking those risks to really grow and make things better. I think that's really the core of what intellectual excellence is.
The professors set the standard of intellectual excellence, and that rubs off on the students, and I feel like that's rubbed off on me.
You really have to push yourself. So to know that's actually a value here is pretty important, because that's something I value on my own. So if my college values it as well, that means I really belong here.
To say that Elmhurst College values community, I think, is an understatement. I think Elmhurst College is community in so many ways.
Coming to Elmhurst College, a small college, it has to be about community.
It doesn't really matter who you are or where you've come from. Everyone here will just love you for who you are.
The fact that every individual and every unique person is allowed to be in an environment together and learn from each other and grow with each other.
Just the fact that it's smaller and that you form those one-on-one relationships, it encourages like creativity and questioning and all the things I wanted out of my college experience.
Social responsibility means caring for each individual as a person.
There are all these people, and they're all more important than my general happiness as a single person.
You're not only trying to better yourself, but I feel like it also means it's your job that you better your community too.
Knowing that there's something larger than yourself and that you can play a part in making someone else's life better.
Taking what I learned from my family, that others come before me, and translating that into the entire world.
It's really awesome to be in a place where not only are you worrying about academics, but it's also teaching me how to be a better person.
To me, stewardship is just being responsible, really thinking about your actions.
If I'm going to say that, I believe in this philanthropy, I think we should do this, I need to follow through with my actions.
What I found coming to Elmhurst is that there are lots of people that feel the same way. So it was easy to find a group of people who were so engaged in service and so willing to help.
Kind of made me reflect on, what do I value in life? Why am I here? They really did kind of push me to the next level and make me think about that, and I think that I'm a better person for it.
Values really help shape identity. If you really don't understand your values, you're not really understanding a part of who you are.
I was more sheltered until I came here, and Elmhurst has really kind of made me step out of my comfort zone and learn more about like what I want to do and what I believe in.
Places like the chaplain's office and the Niebuhr Center for Faith and Action give me safe places where I can go to discuss my faith and to discuss my values with people that I know, I trust, and people that I know I can count on to influence me and to lead me in the right direction.
You can never be forced out of your faith or forced into a different kind of faith as long as you're at Elmhurst, that you really are given the ability to take your pick and always have encouragement from your peers, never shunned or excluded or pressured into something else. There's always a place for you.
If you believe you're here on this earth for a reason, that's going to affect the way you live your life. That's going to affect the way you treat your academics, the way you treat your social life, the way you look at your future and the goals that you have. Those things seem like really big things, but all of that boils down to like the way you live your everyday life.
We value
intellectual excellence,
community,
social responsibility,
stewardship,
faith, meaning, and values.
Elmhurst College is much more than buildings, courses, and credits. It's a supportive community of individuals who are committed to helping you reach your full potential. But don't take my word for it.
I visited a lot of schools, but when I came here, it was just like, I'm home.
As soon as I walked on campus, I felt like I could dive right in and get involved.
Getting involved is easy, especially in class. The average class here has just 17 students.
Every faculty and staff here just wants me to succeed.
I can go up to them and it's not just office hours. Like I'm here from 10:30 to 11:30. It's actually like whenever you need help, my door's open.
There's a real connection that takes place. I'm frequently asked, what do I teach? I never say music. I teach people. Music's the vehicle.
It was great to see that rather than just teaching textbook material, they're actually giving you some industry insight.
I'm a vocalist. I'm out in the clubs performing. I'm touring in Europe and performing. So they see how their life can transition into that.
A lot of my friends from other universities, they don't get to be a part of undergraduate research, professional development at such an early stage.
They're truly there to help you and to build you and to make sure that you are amazing.
And at Elmhurst, you can be amazing all around, including on the field. Football is just one of 20 Division III sports.
We went straight to the Final Four of the nation, and that was a great way to come in and start off the season.
They're there because they're motivated to, they want to be a good team, they want to be a good player.
Wrestling wasn't my life. I was able to go out and do a lot of different activities and get involved on campus.
We are allowed to be students, and we can be involved in a lot of other things.
How do you want to get involved? You'll have your choice at Elmhurst.
Our campus has over 100 clubs and organizations.
Whatever you want to do, there's something here for you to do.
Concert choir, the Wind Ensemble, gospel choir,
Habitat for Humanity, Global Poverty Club.
I'm an orientation student leader, SGA, Best Buddies.
Greek life at Elmhurst College is really focused on leadership and discovering who you really are.
To be part of all these different organizations and get to know all these amazing people is why I love Elmhurst.
You can also get to know the world beyond the campus. Elmhurst offers study abroad opportunities in 44 countries.
I studied abroad in Granada,
Holland, Germany, El Salvador, Israel and Palestine, Costa Rica, Czech Republic.
Back at home, you'll enjoy all the advantages of our great location. Downtown Elmhurst is just a short walk from campus, and the Metro train will take you to the world-class city of Chicago in just 30 minutes. When it comes to career preparation, we've got you covered. Elmhurst will connect you with the people and the experiences you need to reach your full potential.
Elmhurst allows you to grow into the knowing, and I appreciate that there's a journey that we encourage. It's not just in one program or one department, it's threaded throughout everything that we do.
Elmhurst College pushes you to truly find who you are as a person and as a professional.
They will make sure no matter what your interests are, what your career path is, that there's going to be a resource on campus that is going to help you find that potential and then reach it.
If I had to say why Elmhurst would be the best option for nursing education, I would say because you don't have to be big to be the best. We have all of the student services, we have all the educational services, the excellent curriculum and faculty, so we're not big, but we are the best. We have a state-of-the-art simulation center, and I have seen many sim centers across the nation, and this one is truly, truly remarkable.
The professors there encourage us to make mistakes because it is simulation, and they want us to learn from our mistakes.
Going to the sim lab that's actually in Elmhurst Memorial Hospital, it's really, really cool. The facility is amazing. It's brand new.
What the simulation center consists of are mannequins, but these aren't just mannequins like you've seen before where you do CPR. Our mannequins talk to you. Our mannequins birth babies. Our mannequins cry. If you don't do what you need to do as a nurse to our mannequins, they will die. So what we do is actually simulate experiences in real life that you will see as a nurse, and you get to make mistakes without hurting people.
At any school you can learn the skills, but I feel like at Elmhurst, the faculty and staff are encouraging us to do more.
They're always passionate about what they do, and I think that's very important. One of my professors said, you don't just want to be a good nurse, you want to be the best nurse.
We do have many partners in the community at Elmhurst College, and basically we have to. We rely on our community partners to provide that clinical education piece. So while we are there with our students, side by side, teaching them, we couldn't do it if we didn't have the clinical partners. I think our faculty are our gems here. When you come to Elmhurst for nursing education, you will receive your education from clinical specialists. You can be good as a clinician, but that doesn't make you a good educator. We need excellent educators to be able to translate that theory into practice for our nursing students.
I got on the floor, and after a few weeks working with my clinical instructor and working with my classmates and collaborating, it really has provided me with a safe space to, talk to my instructor, talk to my other peers, and really work together to build my confidence and competency as a future nurse.
I feel like they are preparing me well, and I have no doubt that in a short year and a half that I'll be ready to go out into the world and be a nurse helping patients.
Our students are working everywhere. We have students working in schools, hospitals, and in community health settings. So our students are really everywhere. We don't just teach, we change lives.
Welcome back to RA Faggett Hall. Luke Tanaka with you. Glad to have you alongside this edition of Elmhurst Men's Basketball on Blue Jay TV. The Blue Jays out in front by 13 as we start the second half. And key for the Blue Jays, second chance points. How about 10-0 on the second chance for Elmhurst? 8 offensive rebounds. Now rebounding North Park by 5. And also, when both teams struggle from the three-point line, where do you look? Points in the paint. Elmhurst absolutely dominating points in the paint so far. And there's 2 more for Jeremy Ireland. 28-8 points in the paint differential. The Blue Jays outscoring North Park by 20, now 22 down low. That's been the key for Elmhurst so far today, jumping out now to a game-high 15-point advantage. Here's Zuba for 3. He hits. It's 11 points for Zuba, who has been very good for North Park so far today. 3 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 from distance as Ireland pops a J and he hits it. Outside the paint, but counts just as good. Sanders on the other end, poked away by Rohde. Rohde has Maracas running the floor with him. Rohde scoop, layup, beauty. Jake Rohde with 2 more. Zuba wants to pop another one, instead hands off Marek. Imagine the North Park wants to get Marek going. 3 of 4 from the field in the first half. Sanders takes a J that's rebounded by Maracas. Rohde again into the lane, and again he gets it to go. 4 early points for Rohde and a timeout taken by North Park. And they only have full timeouts remaining. Only 2 timeouts remaining for North Park at the moment. Elmhurst has, well, they haven't used the timeout yet today. So the Blue Jays off to a quick run. How about 6-0 run in the last minute 7 seconds? Couple of shots from Rohde, who now has 13 points. Couple of shots from Jeremy Ireland, and there's Rohde hanging and hitting on the replay. A real nice job by Rhodey to start off this half strong, along with Jeremy Ireland, the two leading scorers for Elmhurst. 11.4 points per game for Ireland and 20 points per game for Rhodey. Rhodey at 13, Ireland at 13. Elmhurst showing off a very strong attack from each of their starters so far today, including Pavlos Marakis with 6 points. He averages just 3.7, so a good day for Marakis so far. Also with a team leading 5 boards, which is right along where his average is on the year. See if North Park can get Toby Marek going. He was absolutely dynamite in the 2 upsets over number 18 Wheaton and number 20 North Central. Very different games. He struggled a bit against Wheaton, but was able to get, I believe it was 28 points in that game, and then he had 30, or check that, 29 against North Central. He went 8 of 11 from the field and 12 of 14 from the free throw line. As Elmhurst applies a bit of pressure, and here is that man, Marek, with the ball. He'll bring it up the floor. 3-point win against Wheaton and a 7-point win against North Central. The 2 wins for North Park on the CCIW slate so far this year. Zuba has it poked away by Marakis, but Morris ends up with it, and Morris gets fouled by Dotlich on his way to the rim. And see Morris able to come up with a loose ball, and then Dotlich not quite fully straight up. Doesn't seem like there's any crying from the Elmhurst bench for pleas of not the call, no call there, but Morris misses the first free throw. That's the first free throw attempt of the day for North Park. They've yet to score from the free throw line. And that will change that as Morris hits the free throw. It's 4 points for him. He will head to the bench. Jake Ellis, the sophomore out of Denver, Colorado, back in. Nick Perry to take it up the floor for the Blue Jays, leading by 17. Rhodey for 3. Knew he missed it as soon as he let it go. Tried to crash in for the board, just missed it off the left iron. Marek back up the floor. Marek has Zuba. Zuba thought about a quick pass and then tried to get it to Sanders and went off his fingertips a little high. And I think it was tipped initially by an Elmhurst player, so that's a pretty quick split-second reaction by Sanders to get his hands out of the way, but couldn't quite do it. Elmhurst back up the floor the other way. 2.5 minutes into the half. 6-1 run for the Blue Jays in the last 2 minutes. Dotlich will spot up for 3, and he hits. Second 3 of the game for Derek Dotlich. He is 2 of 3 from beyond the arc today. And he's been hitting 50% from downtown this year. Dotlich has it and pokes it away from Marek, but Zuba able to recover. Marek kicks. Here is Tongin. Down low to Sanders. Nothing there. Good D by the Blue Jays. Marek through the legs, dribble to the basket. Can't quite finish amongst contact from Dotlich. Real good defense on that possession by Elmhurst. Dotlich trails, comes up. Now Perry. Dotlich just hit a 3 on the last possession. It's a screen from Marakis. Marakis was open for a second as North Park left him there, but Dotlich couldn't find him. And then Ireland has it poked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Blue Jays. Now 20-point margin, largest lead of the game for Elmhurst, 49-29. Rhodey receives the ball at the top of the key. Dotlich another chance. Not this time. Sanders skies for the board. Here's Jake Ellis. One dribble to the right, then kicks to Zuba. Perry had a hand in the cookie jar, and then Zuba couldn't quite hit. Rhodey keeps himself in bounds amongst 3 Blue Jays, gets it to Perry. Perry crossover dribble, and a beautiful dish to Ireland. Perry's 4th assist of the day. Scoop layup, Sanders no good. Tip by Tongin, also no good, but a foul. Perry's second foul, first team foul here in the second half. Tongan hits the first one. That's his first point of the day. Tongan's had a tough day so far with turnovers. There's some passes that look pretty good, maybe just a touch out of his reach, so I can't put it all on him. But he said a couple passes slip off his fingertips. Tongan back to the line. 12.5 points per game for the junior out of Norway, and it's his second point of the day as he hits both free throws. That three by Dotlich was the only make in Elmhurst's last 14 attempts from beyond the arc. Levon Thomas, he took one too many steps there, trying to get some separation down low. And there's a turnover for Elmhurst. That's only the 8th turnover of the day for the Blue Jays. Antonio Gardner into the game for the first time here in the second half. Guarded by Perry as he brings it up the floor. Militello also in off the bench. Marek drives into the lane and gets fouled. There were 4 Blue Jays in the area. And I think they're going to say he was shooting. That's going to be Dotlich's second foul. It's the 3rd team foul. And they're going to say Marek was shooting. I thought he was passing. Missed the first one. Merrick had to sit a little bit more than he would have liked in the first half because he had received his second personal foul with about 7 minutes to go in the half, and then came in late as he knocks down that one. Give him 7 points. Second on the team only to Zuba, who's got 11. Militello kicks for Ireland. Dotlich trying to get open. Ellis doing a good job tracking him on this possession. Down low to Ireland. Tongan had vacated the area, and Ireland gets an easy 2. 17 for Jeremy Ireland. Zuba with a 3. He can't quite hit this time, and Ellis gets the rebound. Good hustle by Gardner to keep that ball alive amongst 2 Blue Jays. It's only the 4th offensive rebound for North Park today, and Mark just couldn't quite finish. Pass up to Dotlich from Perry. Dotlich in transition gets fouled. Tongan thought he had the block. But instead, it will be a foul on the big man from Norway. It'll be his first. And it'll be Derek Dotlich at the free throw line. First free throw good for Dotlich. He's got 7 today. Simmons back in for North Park, and Rhodey as well as Austin Brown wants back in for the Blue Jays. Ireland will take a seat. He said quite an active first 5.5 minutes of this half. He's got 8 points in the first 5.5 minutes of this half. He'll head to the bench. Ryan Patton now replaces Derek Dotlich. Turnover by Gardner. He got caught in the air. Here's Rhodey behind the back dribble. Pulls it out. Ryan Patton for 3. Good. Ryan Patton from downtown. On the fast break dish from Jake Rhodey. When Ryan Patton's open, you got to shoot it. He's a great shooter. He missed his first 3 in the first half, and it did not faze him. He knocks down the 4th one. Now a huge lead for the Blue Jays. Tongan attempts a 3. He misses. Gardner ends up with the rebound. Gardner kicks to Tongan, who tries again, and this time he misses everything. And Rhodey comes down with a rebound. Here comes Ryan Patton again. Patton dishes to Brown, and a good assist on the easy 2 for Austin Brown, and another timeout called by North Park. They only have 1 remaining. It's got to be a full timeout here. That's all the Vikings have left. 60-32 the lead, a 28-point margin, the largest lead And the last field goal for North Park came at the 19:27 mark of the second half, which was 6 minutes ago. North Park has gotten some shots at the free throw line since then, but they've been scoreless for almost 2 minutes as the Blue Jays have gone on a 9-0 run. And over the last 6 minutes and 4 seconds of game time, a 20-4 run for the Blue Jays as they have opened up a 28-point margin here today. Blue Jays looking to stay unbeaten in the CCIW today with a win, 4-3, 2-0 in the conference so far this year. Trying to keep pace with Augustana, 7-1 on the year are the Vikings of Augustana, 2-0 in the conference. Sitting right behind those two teams, this North Park team at 2-1 in the conference, and North Central at 2-1 in the conference as well. North Central's only loss came to these Vikings last Saturday. Wheaton sitting at 1-1 in conference play so far this year. Illinois Wesleyan 1-2, along with Milligan and Carthage with the same record. And then Carroll 0-3 in the conference thus far this year. North Park has already upset two of the top teams in the CCIW, Wheaton and North Central, two of the ranked teams. But against the unranked teams, the Vikings have really struggled. Lost to Carthage, a really solid game by the Redmen up in Kenosha. And then a quick foul here. It's going to be Militello's first and the team's fourth. In that loss to Carthage, the Redmen got big games from Keenan Baltimore, 25.7 rebounds, and Preston Laquetta, 19 points, 9 boards. Related to, actually, my boss, I work at St. Francis, and Dave Laquetta is the AD, the athletic director there. Preston Laquetta, related to him. In that game for North Park, Tongan and Morris both had 15 points, but the way that shutting down both Zuba and Marek is key. And Marek misses from beyond the arc, rebound by Rhodey. And that's been, although Zuba's had a pretty good game. Here's a steal. Ellis coming back up the floor. Marek with the layup. I think Thomas got a piece of it, but not quite enough. 20 combined points for the two, Marek and Zuba, but everybody else combined for North Park has 12. Excuse me, should be more than 12, should be 14. 3 for Rhodey, he hits. Rhodey with 16. All right, missed Simmons, so Simmons with 2 for North Park, Morris with 4, Sanders with 6, Tongan with 2. That's everybody else. 20 combined, Zuba and Marek. It has not been enough offensively for North Park today. Tongan will spot up for a J. He misses everything, and Ryan Patton tracks down the rebound under the basket. Here comes Patton in transition. Dishes to Rhodey near side. The Blue Jays will opt to slow it down. The big lead. Militello for Patton, and he hits a 3. And if the Blue Jays can get Ryan Patton going this year, he's really struggled from beyond the arc, but if Patton can get going, that makes this team all the more dangerous. Patton coming off the bench now. Shooting just 19% from three-point range coming into this year, but he's hit 2 in a row here in the second half. And man, if he can get going, this Blue Jay team's going to have a very high ceiling this year. There's a 3 from Jake Ellis. First points of the game for Jake Ellis. Levon Thomas with the dribble drive. And not quite on the layup, rebounded by Tongan. Tongan comes up a little gimpy coming up the floor, and officials are going to blow it dead, and he's going to sub out. He's going to be replaced by Zuba. And you hope Tongan's okay. Not sure entirely. Looked like he was having trouble extending that or bending that right leg. Dennis is telling me that it may have happened earlier and that he was playing through that injury, and he will head to the locker room, so we hope the best for Tongan. Hope that it's nothing serious. Thanks to Dennis for the bit of information. Marek kicks to Zuba. Zuba cut off, but Simmons is open for three, and he misses. The last couple of misses for North Park have been by a wide margin. Here's Rhodey again. Not quite. Marakis, smart not to foul. Zuba had position on the rebound. Blue Jays got to get back defensively. Marek trying to drive amongst the trees, kicks to Ellis. Ooh, not quite that time. A rebound brought down by Ryan Patton against Simmons. Marakis gets it through the contact from Ellis and lays it up and in. Elmhurst takes timeout. And it's going to be we're waiting for the call. Full timeout taken by the Blue Jays. Only the first timeout Elmhurst has taken so far today. North Park only has one remaining. But Elmhurst on top by 31 currently. Game high 32-point lead came just about a minute ago at 66-34. And Pavlos Marakis has 8 points, but Blue Jays now shooting 53% from the field, led by Jeremy Ireland, 8 of 10 from the floor. That'll help the season average. He already had a pretty good average, shooting 49% for the season coming in. That should put him over 50% for the year. Jake Rhodey, 16 points, 6 of 10 from the floor, a couple of three-pointers. How about a team-high 6 rebounds from Jake Rhodey? Rhodey, just a 5'10 guard out of Chicago Heights, but he's got 6 boards today, also 2 steals. And then how about Nick Perry hitting the start? He's only started 2 games so far for the Blue Jays this year, but Nick Perry doing a great job, 5 assists. He's got a couple of turnovers, but Sean Baines will take the 5 assists, as Elmhurst has assisted on 17 of its 28 shots so far today, 28 makes. North Park to get us going again. Ticking down to about the halfway point here in the second half. Blue Jays out in front by a bunch, and a quick foul on Austin Brown. It'll be his second. Team's 5th, so Blue Jays 5 team fouls, and Perry wants back in. Dotlich also in, and Ireland as well, replacing Brown, Patton, and Militello. Starters back on the floor for the Blue Jays. Marakis, Dotlich, Ireland, Perry, and Rhodey. Double checking something at the scorer's table. Now we're back going again. This is Akil Spates. First time we've seen him in the game. Number 5 for North Park. Another 3 for Ellis, and he hits. Jake Ellis has 6 points. Hitting a couple of threes. Ireland down low against Zuba. An easy basket for Jeremy Ireland, who now has 19. Gardner dribbling at the top, finds Zuba. Dotlich right up on him. He knows Zuba can hit that 3. He's hit a couple today. Marek hits a 3 that just misses. Ireland scored a season-high 20 against Carthage in the last game. This one for another season high. Not this time. Marakis offensive board. Marakis put back. Double digits for Pavlos Marakis. The senior forward out of Greece, who did not play a whole lot his first 3 years in the starting lineup this year and making his presence felt here today. Ellis for 3 again. Not this time. Ireland with the rebound. Rhodey kick to Ireland, and there's the season high. 21 for Ireland. A bullet of a pass from Jake Rhodey. Another assist for Elmhurst Jake Rhodey. Give him 3 on the day, go along with his 16 points. That was a beauty. 34-point advantage. Highest lead of the game. Here's a 3 from Spates, not quite. Rebound pulled down by Dotlich. Perry fights through the defense of Spates. And now Ireland again with the ball, near wing. Zuba giving him some space. Rhodey. Always seems like Rhodey is just floating, awaiting the bullet pass. Always has all his options open. Dotlich steps behind the free three-point line, takes a three, and then Maracas is going to be called for the foul on the rebound. Assistant coach for the Blue Jays, Matt Nadelhofer, giving Maracas a little bit of encouragement. He thought that was a pretty good play by him. And also trying to get his attention, try to take it away from the official. Nadelhofer, former head coach down at Milliken, former star at Wheaton College, now an assistant with the Blue Jays. That's a nice addition to the staff for Elmhurst, along with a former Elmhurst player, Peyton White, who you may have seen if you watched the halftime. As that's Simon Jacobson getting his first 2 points of the game. If you saw some of the interviews at halftime, that was when Peyton White was a player. Well, now he's on the bench. Assistant coach for the Blue Jays. That one taken away by Jake Ellis. Ellis all the way to the basket. Just a little bit of a, not quite a convincing pass there. It needs to be a little more intentional by the Blue Jays. I'm sure John Baines, head coach of the Blue Jays, won't be very happy about that. Also on the staff for Elmhurst, Ben Gardner. So those are the three assistants, Matt Nadelhofer, Peyton White, and Ben Gardner. Nick Perry all the way to the basket, count it, and the foul. Perry now has 5, dribbled right by Marek, and that's his third. Bomstad and Patton check back in, and also Tyler Turner. First time we've seen Turner, 6'5" senior forward out of Chicago. And Nick Perry will head to the free throw line to complete the three-point play. He misses, but Ireland gets the rebound, puts it back up, and it's good. And that is just exactly what the Blue Jays have done all day long. Offensive rebounds, that's the 10th offensive board for the Blue Jays. And points in the paint. 50 points in the paint for the Blue Jays today out of their 76. That one's stolen by Ryan Patton. And Patton goes coast to coast, lays it up, can't quite hit, but Ireland is trailing. Great play by Ryan Patton to get that steal and send the Blue Jays in transition. 36-point lead. Three-pointer near side, Spates, he misses. Perry will jog it up the floor. 6 minutes to go. Elmhurst perhaps looking for triple digits today. We'll see if they're able to reach that signpost as Perry loses it on the way in. Good defense that time by Gardner. And picking up the ball is Jeremy Greenlee, we have not seen yet today. 6'2" junior out of Country Club Hills, Hillcrest High School. There he is at the wing, handing off to Spates. Ellis kicks, three-pointer, passed up by Spates. Instead, it'll be Gardner from the corner, and he hits. First point of the game for Antonio Gardner. Patton is open again, this time just a little bit short, and the rebound by Turner. One dribble, puts it back up, ooh, just can't quite hit. And the rebound pulled down this time on the defensive side by Greenlee. Gardner stops, pops, misses. Able to track it down is Perry. See if John Baines wants to empty the bench here at some point soon, and we have a whistle. It'll be a foul on North Park. It's the second on Gardner, and team's third. Couple of subs coming in for North Park. Alan Nicoletic is in for the first time. Turner wanted it down low, he got it. Now, Arthur Jackson is in for the first time, finds Levon Thomas, goes up, and Thomas was fouled before the putback by Turner. Simon Jacobson charged with his first personal foul, and Levon Thomas will go to the free throw line. Thomas, averaging 8 points per game, has yet to score today. He's had a tough time of it down low, but the Blue Jays have picked him up. Got Maracas scoring 10. This season average is just 3.7. Thomas puts in his first 2 points. And for Maracas, that's the first time he has scored at double figures this year. It's a season high. Tipped away by Turner, rolling along the scorer's table. And now here comes some of those players for the Blue Jays. Nick Balcom checks in. On with Will Lyles also in. And Brad Hubley also, and there's a steal. That's Balcom, and he will go all the way for 2. And then a foul, I'm not entirely sure. Arthur Jackson, there's going to be called for the foul, the junior into Brooks College prep, and that'll be a teachable moment for John Baines. It's not the time to foul, leading by this much, and now North Park in the bonus, shooting 1-1. That was Spates was able to hit. There's the steal again by Balcom, and then he just outruns everybody to the basket. Good anticipation by Balcom, and Blue Jays 7 steals today. They've forced 17 turnovers and have 23 points off of those turnovers. Really dominated in every aspect today. It shows up on the scoreboard. Turner fakes the handoff, now drives. Left-handed lay-in is good. Trey Pikes checks in for the first time for North Park. He'll replace Ellis. Under 4 minutes to play. Blue Jays comfortably out in front. Jacobson to the basket for 2. Nice pass that time by Nicolactic. Blue Jays sitting at 86, 14 away from triple digits. We'll see if they get there. This third unit's going to have to hit some shots. Three-pointer by Balcom, no good. Charging in for the board and reaching for it was Lyles, but he couldn't quite hit. Bounce pass falling to the floor, one North Park player. It's out of bounds. It'll stay with the Vikings. That was Nicolactic hitting the deck. And he double in the middle there, and you can hear, at least I can hear John Baines saying no foul, but it's not going to be the case this time. Tyler Turner's first personal, the team's 8th here in the second half. At the line shooting free throws, Jeremy Greenlee, junior from Hillcrest High School. Elmhurst all over North Park today. Here's Jackson on the far wing. Hubley now down to Turner. Turner, hands off. Balcom takes the jumper and misses. I already have a final from Decatur on the CCIW scoreboard. Three-pointer, no good. That time by Nicolectic. Tracked down by Jackson. Augustana 76, Milliken 42. Three for Balcom again, no good. Jackson tracks down the long rebound. Turner, and here's Balcom again on the near side. Hubley comes off the screen. He'll fire from distance. He misses. And eventually pulling down the rebound was Greenlee. So the first CCIW unbeaten, Augustana, stays unbeaten in CCIW play this year. That one blocked away by Turner. Jackson coming back up. Jackson looks, Lyles gets fouled on his way to the basket. It's Augustana, who came in at 2-0 in the conference, much like Elmhurst. Now it's 3-0, and the Blue Jays are going to go to 3-0 as well. Here's the last minute, 43 seconds tick away. And so both those teams will head into the break, holiday break, unbeaten in CCIW play. Of course, teams will still play games. Elmhurst has a game at Manchester on Monday, and then they'll be back home before the holidays on the 20th, facing Olivet here at home. That's next Thursday. Second free throw is good by Lyles. So that sets up, well, there will be two more CCIW games before, as the basket is good. That was Spates with the jumper. Final 90 seconds of the contest today. This will keep the two unbeaten teams, but Elmhurst will have to face North Central on the road on January 5th. They'll also play at Carroll on January 2nd. So those two games certainly will not be easy. No CCIW game is ever easy. There's a turnover. Ball will go back to North Park. But then Augustana here at home for the Blue Jays on January 9th will be a nice measuring stick. That one and the North Central game that whole week. The 5th and the 9th. For the Blue Jays at North Central and at home against Augustana will be a really good measuring stick for this team. Count the basket and the foul. Foul's going to be called on Jackson. The basket is good by Trey Pikes. Also checking in for the first time, Will Betts, the third. A 6'6" sophomore out of Northport, Florida. Still a 30-point advantage for the Blue Jays, excuse me. Jackson stops, pops, just misses. Final couple possessions of this game. The Blue Jays will go to 5-3 overall and 3-0 in the conference. Nicolectic with the basket. Jackson goes behind the back. A lot of dribbling early in the shot clock. Let's see if Elmhurst will run offense or just take the shot clock violation. Well, they're going to take a shot. It's blocked. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Just under 20 seconds left on the game clock. The Vikings will fall to 3-8, 2-2 in the conference. Those two wins against Wheaton and North Central are big wins for North Park. Hopefully they can carry some momentum from those wins into the holiday break. And then as at the shot clock buzzer, Balcom gets the basket to go. Final 10 seconds of the contest. Blue Jays will come away with a win. And it'll be a long three at the buzzer, no good. Rebound pulled down, and that's the final horn. Elmhurst 89, North Park 59. Blue Jays come out on top by a whole bunch, and we'll take you through the statistics before saying what's next for the Blue Jays. As Jeremy Ireland, season high 25 points, and how about this, 12 of 15. He made 12 of his 15 shots from the field today. Also had 6 rebounds. Jake Rohde had 16, 6 of 10 from the floor, 2 3-pointers, 2 free throws. Also a team-high 7 rebounds and 2 steals. Pavlos Marakis scoring in double figures for the first time this year, a season-high 10 on 5 of 7 from the floor, 6 boards for him. Also, Derek Dotlich with 8 points and a couple of players with 6. Ryan Patton had a couple of threes. If the Blue Jays can get Patton going, that would be really important for their offense going forward and give him another great weapon. He's been good his first couple of years with the Blue Jays. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets going as CCIW play restarts in January. Jay Militello also had 6 points. On the opposing side, Zuba had 11 as everybody who played for North Park scored in the game today. That was a lot of players. Marek had 9 and Ellis had 8. And the other leading scorers for the Vikings. Leading rebounder was Sanders with 6. And Zuba had 5. Also want to mention Perry had a great game too. 2 of 3 from the field. He only took 3 shots, but he had 5 points and he had 5 assists to go along with 3 rebounds. Good game for Perry as well. Good game all around for the Blue Jays, who shoot 51% from the field and 9 of 12 from the free throw line, and limit North Park to just 38%. And points in the paint were key for the Blue Jays today. 58 points in the paint. Very impressive as Elmhurst comes away with an 89-59 victory. Thanks to Dennis for all his great work. The Blue Jays will be back at home on Thursday. They do have a game on the road at Manchester on Monday, so be sure to check out elmhurstbluejays.com for all live coverage of that one. For Dennis, cameraman, producer extraordinaire, I'm Luke Tanaka saying so long from R.A. Fagnall Hall. Final score, Elmhurst 89, North Park 59.